welcome back. It's Joaquina Carter from JoaquinaCarter.com. This is another episode of She Speaks.
Boom, ba boom ba. Boom, ba boom ba. Boom, boom, boom ba boom ba. Boom, ba boom ba.
So today's conversation is about finding your own creative space and finding what feeds you. And first of all, when I say this, I'm not only talking to quote unquote creative people. I think everyone is creative and everyone has their own art. It just doesn't all look the same. It's not always going to be painting a picture or writing a poem or, singing a song. Art comes in so many different forms, and I think everyone has their own art form. And I think it's so important that no matter what your art is, no matter what your passion is, no matter what your craft is, to define your own creative space. So what I mean by this is really creating a life and creating a routine of really feeding yourself and feeding your passion and feeding your art. Now, what that looks like, that can look like one, rest. You need to rest. So many people think to get ahead, you have to be on this non-stop hustle and grind and stuff like that, but that's not all the case. The less you rest, the less productive you're going to be. If you want me to be completely honest, it's not going to be efficient. You're going to get a whole lot done at very low quality. But if you take time to really rest, get at least 7 hours of sleep, at least 3 times a week, make sure that you have some downtime, because we think that we're all in this hustle to really get where we're trying to be in life. We don't realize this life is a continuous journey, so we'll never be at this one specific place. And so since it's a journey, since it's ongoing, you might as well have a few rest stops along the way, because you're going to need time to just look away. I love writing, I love creating videos, I love doing all these things, and the way I work is I do a whole lot and then I rest a whole lot. And hey, that's just how it works. Sometimes it's inefficient, because sometimes I get to a point where I just feel burnt out. I'm just like, I don't want to look at another poem. I don't want to look at another video. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and watch mindless reality shows. And that's how I look away. That's how I rest. That's how I rejuvenate. Whatever it is. Meditation, prayer, just sitting in quiet time, but also doing something that is quote unquote unproductive. Something that's just like something that just makes you smile, that doesn't necessarily feed you. It is feeding you. Trust me, you need that time to look away. The second piece advice I would like to give is to pay attention to what gets your juices flowing, because we all have those moments where it's like, I don't know if it's a movie or a song or a certain activity or a certain place we go, that's just like when we're in that space, we're in a space where we want to work, where we want to create, where we want to go. It can be anything. For example, for me, reading the book Milk and Honey, I promise I'm not getting paid to promote her, but this book is so amazing. It's a poetry book, and it's so short, and it's the same story every single time I read it, but I always get something different from it. And so no matter what mood I'm in, no matter where I'm at, no matter what has happened, when I read her poetry, something about how much she poured into this book really gets my own juices flowing, really gets me motivated, really encourages me, really gets me thinking about a different style of poetry to approach, or a different topic to approach. And it could have nothing to do with her book. It's just something about those words that really get me going. Listen to the College Dropout trilogy, which is College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation by Kanye West. Listening to those 3 CDs is something about it that gets my juices flowing, and it's just like learning things as I'm doing it that's like makes me want to work. It's so important, because when I'm desperate to get back into that headspace, or when I'm like, I need to get back focused, I need to get back writing, I need to get back whatever, then I go to these things. You know what I'm saying? When I need some inspiration, I need some encouragement, when I need something to just get me going, to just get me, I don't know, inspired, I go back to these things. I do these activities. Traveling is another one for me. Obviously, I can't do it all the time because traveling takes money. But traveling is another one for me, just seeing new places and meeting new people and whatever. It's just like something about it just really makes me, like every time I go out of town, I come back having written 5 poems, at the least. Let's see. So paying attention to what you like to do. And then I guess the third piece of advice is the action piece, is to actually go out and do it. Like, pay attention to what makes you tick, and when you're feeling a little hungry when it comes to your craft, when it comes to your passions, when it comes to your art, when it comes to your drive, then go back to these things, revisit these things, and don't be afraid to explore more. Like, since a poem book got me inspired, maybe I should look into other poetry books, you know, just to get some fresh material and things like that. So just really explore. Take time to explore yourself. I guess this is another video that will piggyback off of self-care, because a part of caring for yourself is also caring for your craft. And so you have to make sure that you're really pouring into yourself and you're taking that time to feed yourself. Because as an artist, as somebody who wants to birth anything into this world, you have to realize that you're pouring out of yourself. You're giving people pieces of you. And you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you want to keep going, if you want to not have that burnout feeling, you have to make sure that sometimes that you take a moment to rest, rejuvenate, recover, do something that has nothing to do with anything, just rest. And then take a moment to allow yourself to be poured into. Allow other people and other people's art or whatever it is to pour back into you, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So find your creative space, feed yourself, and really, really live in your passion. Do not be discouraged. It's so easy to get discouraged as an artist, as a creative mind. It's so easy to get deterred and to just go back to the mundane and do what everybody thinks that you should do in your life. But continue following your dreams, pursuing what you love. All it takes is consistency and persistence in order to get there. Trust me, I'm on the journey with you, so I understand how discouraging it can get sometimes. But I'm here, we're doing this together, and in a year from now, we're both gonna be in 2 completely different places in our lives, and it's gonna be beautiful. So thank you so much for tuning in another week of She Speaks. Tune in next Sunday. Woo! If you have an Instagram, follow me at Wakina She. I promise to follow you back. And if you have some time, go over to my website, WakinaCarter.com. You'll see more videos. You'll see blog posts. You'll see all there is about me. You'll be able to send me a message or whatever. So anyways, have a great Sunday. Have a great rest of your week. Be blessed.
Boom, ba boom ba. Boom, ba boom ba.